There, this is Elizabeth from Gabriel Family Adventures, and today I'm going to be sharing a review for you all of the Hard Rock Hotel in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And so I'm going to give you a little bit about why we chose to go to Hard Rock PV, as well as the costs and what you get. And at the very end, kind of overall what we thought of our whole experience. So here we go. The Hard Rock Hotel in Puerto Vallarta is actually located in Riviera, Nayarit, which is a kind of newer-ish development of Puerto Vallarta. So it's about 20 minutes away from the downtown area. It's kind of this hotel zone with a lot of sort of the large hotel names located there. And so you don't get to that kind of walkable downtown experience, but you tend to get larger hotels with more amenities if you stay in Riviera Nayarit. It's not so far away from the airport. It's about a half-hour drive or so, so it's pretty easy to get there from the airport. And Puerto Vallarta itself is an easy place to get to from most major airports in the United States. They fly to Puerto Vallarta, or you have to just do a quick stop in, say, Denver, Dallas, or San Francisco, and then fly down to Puerto Vallarta. The Hard Rock Hotel is an all-inclusive resort, and when they say all-inclusive, they mean everything. So your drinks, your 24-hour room service, your food, you name it, it's included in what you've already paid. It also includes taxes and gratuities or tips. So technically speaking, you don't need to tip your staff members when you're there. However, I recommend bringing some ones, some fives, and if you do have outstanding service, I do recommend tipping the staff because I think it's just a nice way to show your appreciation. And if you're going to be there for, say, a week, you'll see the same staff members most days, and so sometimes it's nice to also tip them in advance so that way you get even better service throughout the week. So just kind of something to think about. Now, the reason we chose the Hard Rock in Puerto Vallarta is because we actually stayed in a Hard Rock hotel in the Dominican Republic, and we loved it so much we actually got suckered in to getting a timeshare, and I swore I would never buy a timeshare in my life, and then we did. So it was part of our timeshare, and we love Puerto Vallarta. My husband and I and our friends who we travel with a lot, we've all been there many times, and so we thought, okay, this is a great excuse to go back to Puerto Vallarta and stay somewhere that's in our timeshare. And we did have a really incredible experience at the Hard Rock in the Dominican Republic. So we thought we would try this one out. We found out very quickly that the hotel is significantly smaller than the Hard Rock in the Dominican Republic. The Hard Rock in the Dominican Republic is like a city, so I'll do a review on that, so subscribe to this channel and I'll share that review in a little while. But this is more of kind of your standard size hotel where there's a few pools, there's 6 different restaurants that you can go to, which really there's only 4 kind of fine dining experiences, and there's a little marketplace, coffee shop, and a pizza shack. But it's kind of more of your standard all-inclusive resort, not the kind of mega experience. But it does have these sort of Hard Rock touches. The decor is very distinctive, and I think it's really fun. It's one of those resorts that it's not crazy like some people might think if they think of a Hard Rock hotel, but it does have that kind of fun, you know there's going to be entertainment at the pool, there's going to be a nighttime show each night, there's going to be a lot of that element to it, and you're going to have upgraded quality of experience. So you're going to have upgraded linens in your room. You're going to have, I think, better dining than maybe some other all-inclusive resorts where it's a lot of buffets and stuff like that. These are, a la carte, sit down places to eat, and you get what you pay for. It is expensive. It is more than some other places you could stay. It's most times of the year, it's at least about $320 a night. And if you stay in the peak season from about Thanksgiving through the new year, it's a lot more expensive. But something to note that we've learned over time is that with the Hard Rock, they are always running specials, and especially if you want to travel there in the summer, get on their email list and you will get a good deal. They are constantly sending me emails for, 45% off this and that and the other thing. So you can get a better deal and still get the same quality experience and just not pay so much, which is nice. One nice little perk that the Hard Rock does, and it's one of their major advertising things to get people to come to the resort, is that they offer these resort credits. So they'll offer you, if you're staying as a couple, $1,800 in resort credits. So what does that get you? Well, it gets you a lot of fun stuff. So what I used mine for were a lot of spa treatments. And I don't really go to the spa a lot ever when I'm at home. And so I thought that would be kind of a nice little splurge. And so you can go and use your resort credits, and then what you end up doing is paying this 20% fee, kind of like the tax on the spa treatment itself. And so what it does is you look at the spa treatment and it's this ridiculously high price, which you're using your resort credits for. And then what you actually end up paying for is really kind of a reasonable amount for a massage or, a facial or a manicure or a pedicure. And you can use those resort credits for other things. They've got some excursions, they've got some golf and stuff like that. But it is kind of a nice little splurge, and because it feels like you're getting something for free, it is kind of fun to use the resort credits. So it's not totally free, but it is a sweet little perk, and the spa is really nice. And so I did enjoy my multiple massages that I had that week, and I felt ridiculous and indulgent, and I loved it. It was great. So definitely use your resort credits if you get those. Now the rooms themselves, because it's a smaller resort, there aren't very many suites available. It's more of the kind of standard where there's one bed or two beds, and then you've got your tub and your shower. And you do have the Hard Rock, good quality shampoos and conditioners and things like that. And you do have nice linens, and the decor is really fun and vibrant. But the rooms aren't huge, and if you try to upgrade, they just don't have a lot of options available, so you might kind of be stuck in the standard room. And so just something to be mindful of, that if you go to one of the bigger Hard Rocks, you do have a little more flexibility when it comes to scheduling. Now the dining experience. So when you go there, like I said, there's about 4 restaurants that you can have for dinner, and that doesn't include, your 24-hour room service, your poolside quesadillas and nachos and things like that. And the 4 restaurants that you can eat at, there's a Brazilian steakhouse and an Italian restaurant that I thought were both okay. I feel like Italian fare, it's good. It's always going to be pretty good, but it wasn't anything that kind of knocked my socks off. I thought the Brazilian steakhouse, and I feel this way when I keep coming back to Brazilian steakhouses, I feel like the meat is just a little overdone for me. I am kind of a medium rare to rare steak eater, so I was a little disappointed. I thought the meat was overcooked. But they also have an Asian fusion restaurant, which I really enjoyed. You can get your sushi, your teppanyaki, all kinds of yummy dishes. And then they have the sort of traditional Mexican restaurant, which is quite delicious. And, if you're in Mexico, eat the Mexican food. It's great. There's a reason, they're known around the world for their food. So I think those 2 are my top 2 favorites. I would check those out the first 2 nights that you're there. And then if you like them, go back or try out the other ones. And the Italian restaurant, you kind of always know what you're going to get, so it's a safe bet. And if you're there with kids and they're picky, noodles are always a safe choice. So that is something to think about. Now, if you're traveling with kids, the Hard Rock is a good place for you. It kind of has the stereotype of being a, adults kind of drinking in the pool all day kind of thing, but there's a little bit of that, but it's a lot of families and couples and just sort of a mixture of lots of different people. And so there's a kids area that you can hang out at. They have a kids club that you can send your kids to, and they take kids ages 4 through 12, and they do all kinds of fun activities, and they, go on slides, they play volleyball, they do all kinds of stuff. So, if you wanted to escape go on an excursion or go play some golf or just lounge at the pool, your kids can go play in the kids club and have a really good time. They do have some upgraded options available for, family suites that you can stay in and stuff like that on their website. But, the rooms themselves are fine for the family, but that is an extra option if you wanted to explore it. A couple things that I kind of noticed comparing our experience to our previous Hard Rock experience was the first, because it's a smaller resort, in a way it's kind of nice because the Hard Rock Dominican Republic is so big that you have to take these golf carts everywhere because you're kind of like in a city. So this one, because it's smaller, you can get around easier. We were able to find our friends easier. But there were some things that I felt like, staying at some of the bigger resorts are nicer because you have a few more dining options. You're not kind of eating the same thing a lot of the days, especially for breakfast. And I felt like this hotel was a little more run down. That we noticed kind of by the pool, there was some chipped paint and broken tiles and things like that. We also noticed that even though they advertise top shelf alcohol, we noticed more than once a staff person, this is probably because we were at the bar too often, but that they were pouring cheaper alcohol into the top shelf bottles. And so we complained to the front desk, and so hopefully they do something about that, or if they've done something about that. But that was really disappointing. And I will say, and I don't know why this is the case, but I'm kind of a stickler for a good pool chair, especially if I'm traveling where if my kids are at the kids club or if I'm traveling without my children, which is a rare occurrence, but sometimes happens. I kind of want to sit at the pool and read my book and just sort of zone out. And I thought the pool chairs were pretty lame and not that comfortable. So, for a luxury resort, I do think they need to upgrade those in the future. So just kind of food for thought when you're thinking about where you want to book. So I did think that the service was good. Our drinks and our food, by the pool, at dinner, it was prompt. The staff are very friendly. So I did really enjoy that. And I did like our experience at the Hard Rock, and I love going to Puerto Vallarta because Puerto Vallarta has so much to offer. It's a really, really fun place. So if you're looking for a city to go to in Mexico, I definitely recommend Puerto Vallarta. Now, would I recommend the Hard Rock Hotel? I'm kind of on the fence. I think if you can get a good deal on the price, if you can get one of their great specials, then it's worth it. But if you're paying full price for a luxury resort, I think that there's some better options that you can stay at in Puerto Vallarta. So for example, the Marvel Residences, which is somewhere that we've stayed at multiple times and is billed as a luxury resort, it's a smaller resort as well, is incredible. And I'll link a video clip to that below because I think that's when you think of luxury resort and you think of, like the great pool chairs and the super clean facilities and stuff like that. I think for the price, that's more of what I was expecting. But I think if you can get a good deal, Hard Rock is fun. And they do have, their own unique style, which is very appealing. And so, do make an informed decision when it comes to that and when it comes to what you're comfortable spending. But you should definitely go to Puerto Vallarta. You can go, zip lining on sunset cruises. You can do tons of stuff in Puerto Vallarta. You can go fishing, deep sea fishing, and it's an amazing place. So overall, maybe we won't stay at Hard Rock Puerto Vallarta again. We probably won't stay there again. We're actually going in a couple of weeks back to Puerto Vallarta because we love it so much, and we're going to be staying at the Now Amber Resort. So I'll be doing a full review of that. And so if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can see all those photos and subscribe here, and you'll get that review in the future. But if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put those below, and I will see you later.